What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Barnes Noble in Fullerton. This is the Geek Speak Treats, the first one that you're going to be able to see. We told you you're going to see a few of them today. A few weeks ago, when we started October, you heard from author Mark Tullius. He talked about his book series, Try Not to Die. Think Choose Your Own Adventure, but, well, you can figure out what it is, Try Not to Die. With me here is Mark. Hey, Mark. How's it going?
It's going awesome. Thank you so much for being here with me. This is really great.
Yeah, so now that we can see all of these, and by the way, the latest right here, Try Not to Die, in Roswell. We'll talk about that one in a second, but let's talk about the series first. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mentioned Choose Your Own Adventure, but did that inspire you? What inspired you to create this series?
Yeah, no, Choose Your Own Adventure, that is the book series that got me into reading. I was always into video games and that sort of stuff, but those books were exciting enough for me. There's more of a game, and so, yeah, I devoured every one of them several times. I was always going to the library looking for them, and that's the reason why I decided to start writing these.
And at what point did it go from, you know, your Voyage Under the Sea, some of the Choose Your Own Adventure classics, to let me kill people instead of...
I have always loved horror. When I started writing, everything was very, very dark. And so that's how these turned out. I was like, okay, that'll be a cool little take on it. It's just if every wrong choice ends in death. And how many different ways. I never expected to go with this many deaths or this many books. But yeah, we have 20 out now and another 30 probably within the next 3 years.
And well, that's actually the thing. You guys are probably wondering, well, doesn't it get boring? We just die. No, actually, everyone is different. As you were talking to other people here a second ago, I was thinking, you know, there really is something for everyone. I talked about the latest Roswell, aliens, UFOs. There's some from amusement parks. What are some of the other ones?
We have the Pandemic, we have
Yeah.
the Shadowlands, we have a mall. This one is set in 1998, your high school cheerleader.
Yeah.
So yeah, all kinds of different settings.
Yeah, so it's not just you die. I mean, you do, depending on how you choose, but it's different scenarios and how you die. So how did you, 'cause you don't write all of them, how do you
No.
find the authors to write the other books?
Most of these authors and co-authors are from the Horror Writers Association. Those are the people, I'm a member of that group. Those were the first people that I connected with. And yeah, so it's been a lot of fun being able to write with them. Most of them are indie authors. And yeah, so it's been a blast, especially with the local ones. Tomorrow, before I go down to Huntington Beach, Barnes Noble, I get to stop by Long Beach where they're having another event where the Dark Fairy Tale author and the Roswell author are going to be sharing those books as well as their other books.
Yeah, you know, one other thing I should bring up, give you your props actually, because all of these are all self-published.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about that, because a lot of people don't realize how much work actually goes into self-publishing a book.
It is a lot of work. I didn't realize it at the start. I was like, oh, I did it with the intention of, you know, I'll make it big. You know, I'll do 1 or 2 books. I thought my MMA book was going to be my breakout book, and then I thought another book would be my breakout book. So the intention was never to always do it. But now that I've built it, I was like, well, no, I'm going to keep it. And I see the potential. I see how big I'm big in it, building it so big that it has to break out.
Yeah. So, like I said, they're all different, but this is the latest, Try Not to Die, and Roswell and Beyond. Talk a little bit about what this one is about.
This one's hilarious. My friend Kevin David Anderson, he's a sci-fi nerd. He loves Star Wars, Star Trek. There's so many different references in this thing. When I first read his draft, I was laughing out loud. I don't think I've done that with another book, except for maybe some funny deaths. But yeah, even in this one, like even all the death scenes are pretty funny.
Yeah, and for you guys, the Geek Speak Show, this is what we love. We talk about sci-fi and, you know, all this fantastical stuff. You were telling me actually before we started recording, you used to like them, but not anymore. And I was wondering, like, how do you stop liking sci-fi?
Yeah, I was huge on it. I mean, I think as a kid, I devoured everything. I was reading so much. I was watching movies. So whether it was sci-fi or something else, so I loved it. But then as an adult, I stopped ingesting, partially because all my time is spent creating, and I don't really have a lot of time to ingest anything. So I'm not watching stuff. I'm not reading stuff unless it's tied to the series. And that's kind of how I fell away from it.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what I always say, life gets in the way, basically, is what happened.
Yeah.
But glad it did, because now we have, 23, 24 books at this point?
We have 20 in the series, and book 21 is coming out right before Christmas. That's Try Not to Die with Satan inside.
Yeah, and a lot more coming. So let me see if I can get a tease. Can you tease what titles are coming?
We have Try Not to Die. There's one that's going to be set in Philly, dealing with gangs. That's from my old kickboxing coach. We have Try Not to Die in Slattery Falls. I'm reading that now. That's based off a trilogy by Brendan LaFaro. So many different authors in the indie world are creating books. And so, yeah, we are covering everything. And we have one set in Germany with a German author. I'm trying to get them set. We have Try Not to Die in Ireland coming out next year. That's with an Irish author. And so, yeah, I'm trying to cover as many countries as I can as well.
I don't know, someone watching, listening right now that is going to like the Ireland one because they're from Ireland. I'll let them know. Before we go, though, I know we're doing the spooky stuff for Geek Speak Treats, but we got to have you talk about the CTE book.
Oh, yeah. So we have TBI or CTE. This is my most important book. It was the hardest one to write, the most difficult to write because I had to look at my brain damage. I didn't think I had brain damage. I thought I was just a older guy. You just get angry, you just get slower. That's a typical male. But then after doing testing, I realized oh no, I have significant brain damage. And even after doing all of this work, I've improved my mental health so much. But a year and a half ago, I had to go back for even more testing because I was still having issues. So since that point, I've done a lot more, but I will be doing a follow-up book to it, TBI or CTE2, because I want to pass on everything that I've learned, all the new treatments, and just letting people know that there is hope. Like I used to think, okay, with fighters and football players, once you start the decline, it's only going to go down. Yeah. But that's not the case. You can definitely improve from it.
And I'm sure they're wondering, but I'm not sure it's in the book too, but why? How did you get your damage?
I was very reckless, a lot of partying, a lot of doing all that. But then high school football, college football, I played, I was a MMA fighter, a professional boxer. I was terrible at all of that. And so I took a lot, but I was a tough guy. So I took a lot of damage, and that's how I ended up with the brain damage.
Yeah. See. And you just saw some people walking in front of us. That shows you we're at a live event here. There's a signing going on. So you mentioned you're going to Huntington Beach tomorrow, you said?
Yeah, Huntington Beach tomorrow.
Yeah, as we're coming to the end of the year, where else are you going to do any signings?
I want to be doing one in Costa Mesa. I still need to set that up, and I need to really look to see what other events are going on because I do want to share this with as many people as possible.
If you guys put on an event and you're saying, this would be perfect for there, let them know. How can they reach out to you?
Everything is at marktullius.com. That's my website, and I'm on Instagram and TikTok at author Mark Tullius.
More importantly, get the books. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Thank you.